David Hogg, who, for those of you who don't know, is a survivor of a 2018 Parkland High School shooting. And since then, he and a group of survivors became activists who started a group called March for Our Lives. I'm wearing their shirt today. I picked this up at a rally they were holding after Uvalde a couple of years ago. And I'm a real strong supporter of March for Our Lives and their gun control platform. Well, David Hogg, one of the founders, one of the spokespeople for that, who's been an activist since that event for the last 8 years, seven to 8 years, he was recently elected the vice chair of the DNC, the national DNC. Well, like a lot of us recently, David has gotten kind of sick of Democrats just sitting cozy in. Oh, hey, we have a guest,
I
special guest on the show today. Um, but he's tired, like a lot of us are, of Democrats, status quo, corporate Democrats just sitting tight in safe blue districts. And he has decided he's going to raise some money to try to primary these people so that we can get more dynamic, more useful candidates in office in safe districts. Now, I'm going to put up here. There's an interview he just did with CNN where they're going to explain this a lot, and then I'd love for you and I to talk about this a little bit on the other side of it. So, here's David.
You should be able to purchase an AR-15 in the
Let,
first place.
let's talk about what you did this week, raising a lot of eyebrows here in Washington, D.C.
Just a few.
You announced this week you're the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, but you're raising $20 million to boost primary challengers running in safe Democratic seats against incumbent Democrats. Yes, safe
Thank you for the
seats.
clarification.
Yeah, it's causing a lot of stir. We asked James Carville about it the other day. We couldn't get you. We couldn't book you that day for whatever reason.
Well, rest assured, he's my biggest fan.
Well, so here's James Carville. Here's what he had to say about your idea. Take a listen.
The most insane thing I ever heard is the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee is spending $20 million running against other Democrats. Aren't we supposed to run against Republicans?
What's your response?
What's his plan to deal with our 27% approval rating? That's my question to him. The fact of the matter is, right now, our party is in a crisis.
Okay, I have to pause right there. That was a mic drop moment. As soon as I saw that part of the clip, I knew we needed to cover that this week. That was the fantastic response, and it's not the last one he gives here that's fantastic. He owns Carville over and over again in this interview.
We are seeing people lose faith in our party. They're losing faith in democracy across the country. And we need to make sure that we're getting people to vote for Democrats, not simply because we're not Donald Trump, but because we have a better message, a better option for them. Not simply the less bad of two options, as I think Carville tries to promote when he says, well, we just shouldn't say anything. Carville believes in a politics of being timid, of hiding. I believe in fighting. And that is what people want to see right now from the Democratic Party. And we just saw an example of that with Senator Van Hollen going to El Salvador to say, we need to meet with this man. And yes, Democrats obviously are in the minority right now, but let's be clear, we cannot win back the majority if we do not convince the American people that our party offers something that isn't just not Donald Trump, but is substantially better than Donald Trump, that fights to lower costs for Americans across the country, whether it's healthcare, housing, or the foundational building blocks of the American dream that feels so out of reach for people, or addressing gun violence. We can't simply just hide, as Carville repeatedly promotes, not to mention the fact that, frankly, he has not won an election since before I was born. I think it's time for some new voices in our party.
Oh, one more hit. Oh, that was a left hook. Okay.
When were you born?
Yeah.
2000.
Well, I guess that. So anyway, I can hear James Carville's head exploding all the way from New Orleans when you called him timid. And James, you're welcome back on the show next week. And you
Happy to talk more.
And you can respond. Who are some of the Democrats that you want to primary?
Yeah, he talks about this for now, and just he starts to ask him about who he wants to primary, and I think that smartly, David is really cagey about naming names about who he wants to. He wants all the Democrats in all the safe Democratic districts to be shaken in their boots right now, and to go, I wonder if he's coming for me. I wonder what he's going to do. Is my primary? He's going to be a primary opponent for the first time in 3 or 4 election cycles for me. So I love this. I mean, I know you do too.
I do.
Yeah.
I really love it. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been screaming for this for like the least best 4, 6, 8 years.
Right.
We need to shake this up. It's like the party of the Democrats have become right of center represented by boomers, basically, like the boomer generation.
Right.
I'm excited about this, and I particularly would love to stick it to James Carville because he called us the party of, what is it, mostly preachy women or mostly preachy females. He might have
Oh
even said
yeah.
females, which is like even more disrespectful, right? I remember when he said that during the race and tried to blame us for, Madam Vice President losing. And I'm like, you haven't been relevant in 30 years. Like, why is anyone still giving you a mic? Like, why are
Yeah,
they
I don't
giving men
understand it either.
microphones? Like, there's a whole sound bit on TikTok about it. Like, stop giving men microphones. He is one of them, okay? And if he would have stood up as strongly against the Republicans as he has against the Democrats, just like the ultra progressive left, right? Which is another conversation we can have. If they held themselves as accountable or the Republican Party as accountable as they tried to do the Democrats, we would be winning.
Yeah.
But it's basically let's keep doing the same playbook and then pointing our fingers at each other when it doesn't work out. I'm like, this isn't working. This is a losing recipe. As far as I'm concerned, the traditional Democratic Party is fucking over, and it needs to
It's
be.
crumbling. Yeah, the establishment
It
Democrats, the corporate
needs
Democrats are
to
crumbling.
be.
And from that, the ashes of that, you're seeing a more progressive, more left swinging movement coming out of that. And it's partly reactionary because of how far the country's being pulled to the right by the current administration, but it's also a greater understanding. I think it's a willingness of people who were normally center to look at, well, the right, what they told me they wanted to do is working out horribly. Look what they're doing. All this lies that they told me, trying to convince me that their way was the right way. Well, now maybe I ought to be looking at the other side because what they've been telling me is going to happen is happening now. So maybe it's time I started listening to them. Just real quick, back to Carville though. I do want to just one more little hit on him because this is the guy who, yeah, he's the one who said the best thing Democrats can do at this moment in this New York Times article, with no clear leader or voice or opposition to, and no control in any branch of government, it's time for Democrats to embark on the most daring political maneuver in the history of our party. Roll over and play dead. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the hell? Well, and I think that is just typical of the old guard Democratic Party. The old, well, we're not as bad as the other guy
Yeah.
party. And that's
They
not
don't
what
do
people
shit.
want right now.
That's all they do is they sit back and be like, hey, we're not as bad. And they put no money into it. Do you know how many times I've hit stop and end just in the past month on people sending me fundraising
Oh,
text
yeah,
messages and emails? I'm like, stop. And I don't even know who they are. I'm like, stop asking me for money.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of it. At this point, if they come to me and say, well, it's us or them, I'm like, well, then I'm going to go with them. I'd rather expedite the burning of this country so we actually get some fucking progress.
May
and
as
get some
well be an
changes going.
accelerationist than go with the centrist right party that the Democrats have been
Right.
for the last 20 some odd years.
I'm tired. I don't care about the Democratic Party. I don't. The National Party's a joke. I'm going to say this. Our fucking state party is a joke, too. They screwed us in getting Elizabeth Warren here. Okay? We could have had Elizabeth Warren and someone else coming to speak. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with him. He's a great person. The Senator, Chris, what's his name from Connecticut?
Chris
where
Murphy.
they had, thank you.
Yeah.
He's coming, and then we got him
Yeah.
to come. We had Elizabeth Warren lined up, and the state chair was like, nah. I'm putting it out here publicly. I'm fine with doing it.
Why didn't he want Elizabeth Warren? That doesn't make any
No one
sense
knows.
to me.
No one knows.
I mean-
and then come to find out, it was all lined up, and he said no, and they had to make their plans, and they got insulted because Missouri told them no.
Well,
I'm like,
th-
Elizabeth
that-
Warren.
That doesn't
the
make any
founder
sense to me.
of
Elizabeth Warren is
Consumer
exactly the
Protection
kind of
Bureau?
center-left type of a candidate that you would think that the
I'm like-
center-left Missouri party would want to have. I mean, she's definitely not a far leftist by any stretch of the imagination.
Then they are though, and I'm like, we're gonna lose again. I'm like, I hope we get no candidates. Why are we trying to rescue people at all? When the state party sabotages us, the Republican Party, they demean us. The general public says either you're a fucking pedophile or you're not running hard enough. I'm tired of being criticized for putting my fucking everything out on the line. I'm done with it. I'm tired of people tone policing. They're Republicans fucking light. And if this irks your soul, then it's meant to. You are the problem.
Right.
And if you agree with me, then let's get together.
Well, on a national
You're the
level,
problem.
the fact that the crowds that Bernie Sanders and AOC, these guys are putting together, this shows to me the fight, the need people have, the want, the desire that people have to cast off the old Democratic Party and embrace something new and embrace the progressive left of the party. I mean, people are tired of this shit. They want something new, and so they're getting it with these guys. We need more. We can't just rely on 80-something-year-old Bernie Sanders, AOC, and just a couple of others. We've got to see more of these leftist candidates turning out at the. People have to be daring at the local level, daring at the state level, and daring at the national level to come out strongly supporting leftist policies, because that's what people are craving. That's what they want. They see what the right is doing, and it is our time to fight back. And we can make real headway right now with the swing. They talk about how the pendulum swings, both ways. It's being pulled so far one direction. When it swings back, boy, we better be able to ride that momentum as far as we can go and get everything that we know that people want and have wanted for generations. They've just been told that they either can't get it or that somehow it's, the culture of being handouts or, it hurts capitalists or whatever. Just wipe that away and be ready for the revolutionary change that's going to happen whenever we get back into power.
I would much rather lose as a loud and proud progressive that supports healthcare for everybody, which, by the way, healthcare, abortion care is healthcare, trans care is healthcare, and healthcare is a human right. No qualms on that, no apologies, okay?
Right.
I believe in that, and I'd rather lose with those ideals, which I did twice. I did lose twice, but I'd rather lose with that than try to cater and fold to try to be a centrist and a semi-pseudo-Republican to try to get they're not coming to us. The only way those people are coming to us is if they are personally affected, and as soon as those issues are resolved, they're going right back.
Yeah.
We've learned that on social media with that stupid farmer.
Oh,
right?
yeah, he totally went back to the right. Now that he got whatever money he needed, yeah.
So real quick, he didn't get his fucking welfare, but he calls it a subsidy. He didn't get our tax dollars as welfare, and he freaked out. Guess what? He finally got that check. Guess what he's doing, which I told all of them that were catering to him and kowtowing to him. I said, as soon as his needs are met, he's going to turn back against us. Guess what? I was right.
Hey, guys, if you liked that video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment. Doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps the channel out. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Keep fighting.